Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Marav, and today I'll be talking about prayer. Our church teaches us that prayer is the life of the soul. So just like the body needs air, our soul needs prayer. Prayer protects us and keeps us close to God. When you pray, you're not by yourself, but you're with God, and God is the one fighting for you. When we pray, we rely on God's strength instead of our strength. So that is why prayer is something that we need every day, and it shouldn't be something that is optional. If you don't know what to pray, how to get started, what the Orthodox prayer is, then this video is for you. I just wanted to share what I've learned during my experience with prayer and also what I am still learning to do. There was a time when I believed in God, but I didn't really have a prayer life or a spiritual life. I felt very empty. I believed in God, but God felt very far away from me. So whenever people talk about their experience with God, the miracles that He's done for them, I believe it, but I never felt like it could be for me. He just felt very far away from me because of the life I was living without prayer. When I started praying, I began to see God in my daily life. I had more peace, I felt less alone, and I felt more closer to God. And that's when I really started to see changes in my life, because the prayers that I was submitting to God, He was helping me with. The temptations that I was being tested with, I just brought it to God and I prayed, and He helped me through everything. So that is why I believe prayer is very important, because how are we supposed to fight these temptations by ourselves? We're very weak as humans, but it's only through God's power that we're able to actually defeat the devil. At first, prayer felt very hard and heavy because it wasn't something that I was used to doing. As I prayed more, then, I felt more comfortable in doing so. I started very small with the Lord's Prayer. I didn't even have like a routine or anything like that. But that was like a step for me to get closer to God and to improve in my prayer life. And when I really started to pray from my heart, it helped me to feel closer to God in a way, because I am bringing everything to Him, my sins, my wrongdoings, whatever is in my mind, I just talk to God about it. And that helped me to feel closer to Him. Just like how when we open up and get vulnerable with people, we feel closer to the other person. So it is the same with God. Also, seeing Him as the loving Father that He is, and also having that fear, that loving fear. Just like how you love your parents and you also fear them at the same time. Instead of seeing God as this creator that's very far away from us and that's ready to punish us whenever we commit sin, seeing Him as, a loving Father helped me to feel very close to Him, to open up and to ask Him for help. Before you even start praying, you need to make sure that you are in a headspace where you're not going to be distracted easily. So make sure you put your phone away, make sure your face is clean. You can put on your favorite dress. I used to wear habeshak amis whenever I do my prayers. That helped me to get motivated to get up and pray. So if you have something special like that, you can also apply that to at least get you in the habit of praying. I want to share a prayer routine with you that our church uses and teaches us to use when praying. So there are 3 parts to this routine. You can find them in English and also in Amharic. There's an app that I will link down below. So the first one is Alota Haimanot. It means the prayer of faith. It boldly confesses and describes our faith and what we believe in. The second one is Widasi Mariam. It's the most loved prayer of our church. Basically explains our salvation, also praises our beloved Emeritachin Qidist Dingil Mariam Saint Mary. It honors her as Theotokos, meaning Mother of God, and it teaches us the fulfillment of our salvation. And the third one is Yodisuwa Melaukt, so kind of like the same thing, teaches us Christology, who is Christ, and how He came to the world to save us. Then I finish off with Abata Chunoi, or the Lord's Prayer. And personally, I add my own personal prayers at the end. So it is recommended to pray at the same time every day to help you build a routine. I personally try to pray in the mornings and at night. If you miss a day, just get back and try to do it the next day. So let's be honest, distractions happen and you get tested the most when you start to pray. Sometimes your mind is everywhere. There's things that happen in your life to stop you from prayer. And there's this one saying that I've heard from a sermon from Batachin Abba Gabra Kidan. He tells us that Satan hates prayer the most, and he will try to do anything to stop you from praying. So keep that in mind when you start your prayer life. There are things that our church fathers teaches us to do while praying to help us to be less distracted. For example, one is when you are praying, if you're not holding a book or a phone, make sure that your hand is, open to God. And that way, you're also making your hand work. Don't close your eyes while prayer. Open your eyes, look at the icons that you have in your prayer room when you are praying. And then also making sure that whatever you're praying, try to hear the words while you're doing it. For example, if you're praying Mudase Mariam, while you're reading it, try to listen to the words that you are saying. After prayer, instead of jumping into conversations or looking at your phone, looking at social media, try your best to read the Bible. You can also sing mazmurs if you can, read a spiritual book. You can just sit down and try to reflect on your spiritual life. Prayer is not for perfect people, it's for people who are trying. It's for everyone actually. We need prayer every day in order for our souls to be filled. If you get distracted, keep going. If you don't know where to start very small and then you can improve gradually. If you fall off, make sure you're coming back every day to pray. I hope this helped you in any way. Make sure you try this routine. This routine is actually required of us to do by our church, so make sure you do try it. May God help us all to grow in prayer through the prayers of our beloved Saint Mary and all the saints.